Declan Rice, Declan Rice, Declan Rice. What a player, what a kid, what a signing. The crazy thing about Declan Rice, guys, is, I had a video about him a few days ago where I was thinking, like, yeah, he looks to me more like the Granit Xhaka replacement than Kai Havertz was probably ever meant to be. I think Havertz definitely has some responsibility to play in midfield for Arsenal, and he will probably play more games in midfield for Arsenal, especially if Arsenal are able to find more reinforcement in some of the frontline positions. I think, though, his best position this season has been in that false nine, 9.5, double 10, whatever you want to call it, that he does, that he's been doing consistently since the new year, since basically January 2024. He's been playing in that lead, the attack position. And, Gabriel Jesus, if he comes back to full fitness, he'll be able to give us minutes there and across the front line. But the beautiful thing about where Arsenal are right now is what Declan Rice has been giving them. And I had a video titled, "Is Declan Rice the real replacement for Granit Xhaka?" It may have been planned that he plays eight. Maybe it wasn't. I don't really want to, be obsessing about whether it was intentioned to be so or not. But what it's evolved into is what I'm kind of like, opening my mind to. I'm like, maybe Kai Havertz and Declan Rice were just two Swiss Army knives that the manager thought, these guys will give me minutes in a variety of positions, depending on who we're playing with and depending on who we're playing against, right? Like, if you can have Jorginho or Partey in midfield, then Rice can play on the, in the more advanced midfield position. If you don't have either, Rice gives you cover at the deep lying number 6 position, which he probably will end up playing more consistently as his career goes towards the late prime years of his career and maybe even like the twilight years of his career. But at the moment, he has a machine of an engine on him, and we can't like really fall asleep on what he can give to this team from that position. Like, he can run, man, and he does a lot more midfieldy stuff. Like he's more of a midfielder than Kai Havertz is, and Kai Havertz is more striker than he is midfielder, right? But both of them are just immense for what Arteta seems to be wanting from his players. These guys who can just solve many, many problems. And when we have Rice on that left-sided number 8, he gives us exits and gets the ball rolling and moving fast. The one thing, maybe, if I could, say he needs to work on more, especially in midfield, is how quickly he releases the ball. I think Declan Rice doesn't always have the picture before he gets the ball. But what I like about him, when he gets the ball and gets a picture that he doesn't like, he has the legs and the speed to run to a different position, to change the images, and then another picture unravels. And that unsettles, that can collapse a defense, like when a player can run kind of downhill at them. But yeah, like I still think that's an area of improvement for him, like maybe carrying the ball towards the player he's going to pass to. He's done it a few times. One time he obviously succeeded in the Chelsea game when he gave Trossard the pass. Did it a few times today, and remember, and he put his hands up, like, because he made the wrong read, carried the ball a bit too much, and tried to play Saka in the first half, and the game was still 0-0. But he is an all-action midfielder in this very rendition of Arteta's team, and I like him there. I'm not gonna worry, especially with the reports coming out that Jorginho is likely to stay. That leaves us in a really good position in the number 6 position. If you can't get a buyer for Partey, which will be really hard to find somebody who will pay Partey his wages and give Arsenal a transfer fee. So it might end up being a case, if you can, you keep Partey, you give them to old men the timeshare at number 6. So Partey and Jorginho split the number 6 minutes, and then Rice gets to play more advanced. for a majority of the season, unless, of course, Arteta, has a way of finding another midfielder who can give us more in that position. And I think this summer, Arsenal will probably be able to add more into midfield and up front. If that's possible, great. But like, I like the midfield we have. We might be maybe one project signing light, or another top player as well. I don't know where these top players are going to come from, because like, the market, Manchester United are going to come out big again. Newcastle are going to come out big, especially if the rules are loose a little bit with what the voting turned out to be a couple of days or a week ago. But Rice, man, like, he is just a player who, it's hard to believe that we have bought a player for £100 million who already is at top level, but continues to show growth and improvement. And I think there's another gear or more for him to unlock next year if he continues to play in this number 6 position. This is just, a let me drool over Declan Rice video. Like, the man is just insanely talented. And his attitude is also top class, very humble kid. And what a buy for Arsenal. What a player.